everybody. How are you? I wanted to do an update video since yesterday. Let's see, yesterday was October 16th, and that was my 4-week mark since having surgery. So I wanted to update everybody. Sorry, this is moving. And let everybody know how I'm doing and how it's been going the last few weeks. So, let's see, I am down since Labor Day. So Labor Day was September 4th. That was the beginning of the liquid diet that was before the surgery itself. So since September 4th, I'm down about 25 pounds. So that is really awesome. It's been great to actually step on the scale and see results because that's definitely something new to me. So I'm at a very good point. At this point, I'm down lower than I have been in like at least a year and a half, if not longer. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm still technically on the soft food diet. I went a few weeks ago and I had my primary care appointment, and then I had an appointment with my surgeon the day after. So everything looked really great. My incisions are healing up really nicely. And the doctor took me off 2 of my medications already. And I'm getting blood work done hopefully in the next few weeks to determine if I should come off of my thyroid medication or if I should reduce the dose, I should say. They don't want me to just come right off of it. So that's awesome. And I'm hoping that I can reduce my thyroid medicine and then eventually just stop it. So far so good with that. Still on the soft foods, and what soft foods would be like if I ate meat. See, that's the struggle. I haven't been eating meat since July. So just as a personal choice, but it's a little bit difficult to get the protein in otherwise. But you should be having like soft meats if you do eat the meat, or cooked vegetables. Or you could do eggs, you could do things like bananas, like softer fruits. So I no longer have to eat baby food. Sometimes I mix it in with stuff just to keep the flavors interesting. Plus, like I said, there's a lot of like vegetables that are in the baby food that I wouldn't necessarily be able to eat as well, like unless they were really cooked soft if they were whole. So that's been good. But my diet every day, I'll give you the rundown. So at this point, you're eating about 3/4 cup. I think I go over sometimes on that. Meals a day, and then you have a protein shake. And if you're up like a long time, like my day starts pretty early, so they say you can have like some fruit or something in the afternoon. So during the work week, I bring a shake for breakfast, and that shake is with Fairlife milk. I like that milk because it's got less sugar in it and it still has a lot of protein, and my protein powder in it. So I do that, and then I have a Greek Light and Fit yogurt. Now, see, this is like where the multiple sides of my eating personality come out, because I have avoided fake stuff for a long time. I've been very like organic and all that, but for right now, I need to stick with the low calorie, low fat, and I need to be able to get it down. And so like I used to love Siggi's, for example, that yogurt brand, but it's a little bit too thick and too tart for me right now. So the Light and Fit has been good to me. So I do that. And then for my lunch is usually a string cheese, 2% part skim. So that's been good. And, I'll bring in, I found these, a friend of mine suggested these like Parmesan croutons that are like not croutons. Here we go. They're actually like all cheese, and they're for like your salad, but they're no carbs. So that's, sometimes I'll bring like something like that as a snack, just something with crunch. And then for dinner, I've been doing like, I could do egg salad. Hard-boiled eggs, for some reason, have been going down a little bit harder than the scrambled eggs. So this week I'll be doing, I made like some soups. Some of my friends have brought me soup, which has been awesome. But I'll be doing like a quiche, so something like that. It's been a little bit of a challenge for a few reasons. So those of you who are chronic dieters, you know the deal that you track. You track, track, track. And the program that I went through does suggest tracking, and they have this really cool app. It's called Bariatric. So let me show you. So it's really simple. Can you even see that? Probably not. No. Bad lighting. All right. Oh well. It's a cool app. So you could, I mean, you could journal in there. You could you could keep your activity logs in there as well as your food journal. It has a whole bunch of recipes to look at, like bariatric recipes broken into like soft foods, you know, maintenance. You track your water on there, so that's really good. But I have found throughout my many, many years of dieting that tracking, I kind of become like obsessed. And then I like weigh myself all the time so I see the progress. And then I'm like, okay, let's say I went up a pound or didn't lose a pound. Then I'm like, oh, what did I eat yesterday? And I go back and I look. And so I was tracking like everything. And so this past week I've tried to like step away because I kind of was getting myself worked up about it. But at the same time, it's like I need to know that I'm having enough protein. That was my main reason for tracking. I'm supposed to have 60 to 80 grams of protein a day. And some days it's hard to get to that. So I need to make sure I'm being healthy. And so at least with the protein part. So I think, you know, tracking that, it's a balance. It's a balance. So I need to keep an eye on that, my own obsession over it. But the protein has been good. So basically, like right now, I try and keep my carbs down because you fill up on the carbs and they want you to fill up on the proteins first. So I try and get my proteins in first. It's been a little bit challenging because everybody so far that I've talked to that's had this is like, you'll know when you shouldn't have eaten something or when your body does not agree. And so for weeks now, like 2-3 weeks, I've been like waiting for me to try something and to not feel well or get sick. They call it dumping syndrome, which sounds really funny, but basically like the foods you eat dumps a lot of sugar at one time into your bloodstream or whatever it is, and you can feel like kind of nauseous, like a little cold sweats, things like that. And I just haven't had that to a variety of things I've tried eating. And so I kept kind of like, all right, well, I want to feel what this feels like so that I know. So this past weekend I was like, you know, it was cold on a Saturday morning and I wanted something warm. So instead of oatmeal, because sometimes it's boring, I guess. I like oatmeal, but I was like, oh, you know what? I have some all bran, pretty boring, left over from before my liquid diet. So I'm going to take my normal protein shake and I'm going to add some all bran and I'm just going to heat it up and make it kind of like a little bit of a crunchy oatmeal. So I did that. Well, apparently that was not a good idea. I was in a lot of pain for the rest of the day. I had lunch with my friend Heather, and poor Heather had to sit there and watch me like writhe in pain for a good half an hour. Finally subsided, but then I was like knocked out for the rest of the day. I came home and napped. I just didn't feel right, and like I felt like just exhausted and tired. So I finally had a reaction, I guess, to something, so that was good. But so far, everything I've tried, and I've been a little adventurous with it. We had like a cauliflower crust pizza, and I was fine. I just didn't eat a lot of it, but I've had a few bites of this and a few bites of that, and I've been fine. So it's great, but it's also kind of frustrating because I was holding on to that fact that my body would let me know when I shouldn't be eating something, and then I would know, okay, don't eat that. But the fact that my body's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, you could eat that. I'm like, oh crap, I hope that doesn't get me in trouble later on, you know? there's this like constant fear of this not working, or of gaining weight back, or of all these things. Like you constantly are thinking about, well, nothing else has worked for me in the past, so why would this work? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a mind trip. So that's been one of the challenges so far, a month out. The other thing is that, so the second week I was back at work and I was clearly exhausted. The third week I had more energy during the day, but I would come home and I would be a useless piece of crap. Like, I could not get off the couch. I was just like, and then I would just sit there. I didn't do the dishes. I didn't do laundry. I didn't do any of those things because I was just like, ugh. So that took some getting used to, because that's kind of a bad feeling when you just feel like you're not contributing to. I was able to get through work, but then the rest of the day was shot. So I actually asked about it on the forum, and apparently that's normal. So, everybody was like, it was major surgery. You're only 3 weeks out, whatever it is. Give yourself some time. Plus, you have 600-700 calories a day. That's not a lot, and your body's adjusting to that. So I just had to remind myself of that. My husband had to remind me, because here I am like feeling so guilty, and he's like, babe, it's okay. We get it. So this week, it's only Tuesday, but so far so good. I had a pretty bad day at work. Sometimes being a parent plus being a teacher is like just so, I just don't, no words, no words. So I came home after a really crappy day and I mowed the lawn and I just like took it out on that grass. I was just like, that's it. Just, I'm doing it. And I'm okay. I actually feel a lot better just because of the getting up and moving. So those endorphins. And I'm not super exhausted. I might regret it later, but so far so good. So I think that my next challenge is going to be to start introducing more exercises. And I'm a little scared of that. You just had major surgery. And it's kind of like, all right, let's say you burn 300 calories in an awesome Zumba class, but you're only eating like 600 or 700 calories. I don't know how that works, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But I'll take any suggestions for activity. I love being active. It's just, I gotta start slow. So yeah, things are going really well. And so my idea was, for the next few weeks, if anybody has any questions. I've had so many people come up to me, whether at work or, different social events, and say, you're my guinea pig. I've been thinking about the surgery. My doctor told me I should get it. I'm trying this diet now, but I've tried it before, and I've always thought about the surgery, and, they're watching my story to see how it goes. So if you guys have questions, I would love to do like a question and answer portion of this, because there are so many questions. I know I was loaded with questions, and it doesn't matter what they are. They could be anything. So what I wanted to say is just, if you have questions, you can message me on Facebook. If you have my number, you can text me, you can email me, and ask me the question. I won't say who asked what, but I will try and address any things that you guys might want to know. And then that way, again, this is all about helping, other people in this situation. So let me know if there's any questions you can have for the next session. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and I will see you soon.